You're live. All right, welcome. This is a meeting of the Council Rock Facilities Committee. My name is Mike Thorward, I'm the chair. Let's go around the table real quick. We'll announce everybody's name and we'll get started. Go ahead.
Doug Taylor, Director of Operations.
Jared Rupp, Board Director.
Denise Brooks, School Board.
Mary Ann McKee, School Board.
Aretha Brazil, Dewey Engineering, managing the project.
Bruce Bechtel, Schrader Group Architecture. Bill Rich, Security Manager.
Nancy Carroll, Citizen.
Scott Burning, Citizen.
Marcel.
Matt Frederickson, IT Director. Robert Frazier, Superintendent.
Joe Hidalgo, School Director.
Thank you. Oh, one back here.
Colin Gates, Dewey Engineering.
All right, we're going to deviate real slightly from the agenda. As everyone knows, we went from spring, or no spring, to winter to summer. And I know with Holland Middle School being under construction, it got a little warm in there today. So Doug, can you just kind of bring us up to speed on where we stand? I know parents are concerned, and I'll ask the administration to maybe reach out to the principal and staff, see what we can do to make it. I think next week will be cooler. We just got to get through a day or two here. But Doug, fill us in a little bit of what's.
Yeah, sure. So the one thing I'll say without getting into a whole lot of detail is that the beginning of April, the mechanical contractor defaulted on that project. So we lost our HVAC contract at the beginning of May. I'm happy to say, though, that at this time we have a replacement HVAC contractor on site who is working to meet the original completion date. And I don't think there's any reason to believe we won't do that. The company is good and reputable, and they're getting their feet wet and things are going well. In saying that, in that 30-day timeline, the middle of it was the deadline to get the chillers up and running. In the absence of having a contractor there, we couldn't get the chillers up and running. We did have a contractor in the interim who helped us finish some of the critical path items, so we didn't have kind of without getting into technical co-prime delays, because there's 4 contractors, and if one contractor fails, it's no fault of the other 3, and they're going to, come holler at us and give us a hard time. So we had somebody filling in, so any work that the other primes needed performed in the absence of a full-time HVAC contractor was addressed by the interim contractor. So we're good in that regard. We helped no one up, and we did put some of the chilled piping in from the chillers outside into the boiler room to get it ready for the replacement contractor. He is now working to get the rest of the system up and running. Johnson Controls is going to be scheduled to come out to see the startup of the 3 chillers. And by the end of next week, we expect the chillers to be running, chill water will be running through the building, and we'll have some cool air throughout the facility. So tomorrow, hopefully, is the last uncomfortable day. What we're doing to try to help is at night, we run the HVAC units. We take in 100% of the outside air. It cools off at night. We pull that into the building and fill it with as much of that cold nighttime air as we can. We do keep the windows closed in the morning and attempt to capture it. And then once the outside temperatures start to offset that gain from the evening, then we open windows where we can try to provide some comfort in the afternoon. So we usually get about a half day of cool air, and then it just gets hot. Very much. So.
Robert, I would ask, as I said, reach out to Rich and see if we can't relax like water bottle rules a little bit and keep the kids, do what we can, knowing we've got one more day and then we'll cool back down.
Absolutely. A pleasure.
All right.
So that is the update. If you've heard anything, that's the.
So we can open windows, we are opening, we're trying to trap the cold air in the morning.
We have windows, we have screens, there's no reason we can't. We try not to do it first thing in the morning because we're trying to keep the cool air in for a while.
All right.
That's that item. We have a pretty full agenda, but I don't think that it's necessarily a long one. We have the energy management update, have a security update. I do have Bill Rick, security manager, here with me tonight. We're going to go over a couple things with you. The facilities update, the capital projects update, and miscellaneous, and some board items for the next meeting. So hopefully some of those will be consent agenda. So the energy management, I've given you some detail the last couple meetings. So tonight we're kind of at the point we'll just go over where we are. We are at about 80 cents a square foot at this time based on the February report. That is weather adjusted. So we've been consistently staying at the 90, 89, 88 cents per square foot number, which is really, really good for a school district. So we'll continue to diverge all of those attempts and conditions throughout the district. We're continuing to do things to try to better that. One of the projects we have to look at down the road is North High School. That design of the natatorium at North does not allow us to shut primary boilers off in the boiler rooms. 2 big boilers that have to run through the summer because we need to dehumidify the swimming pool. We need those to run for the pool. So the problem is we're running 2 our boilers all summer. We normally shut down and not start again until probably October. So if we look at a way to maybe provide a supplemental boiler for just the pool and natatorium area, that we can run the dehumidification and just treat that space and shut those down, I think would be significant savings.
So what's the issue is cooling air to bring the, to precipitate it and you have to either cut back up?
Yes.
And so we run
That's
off
how
the
we
main,
dehumidify.
right, so we have to run off the main boiler to do that. It's not
There's no
self-contained.
supplemental gas boiler or anything.
Or self-contained unit that to do that as part of that.
Correct. We have 2 desert air units that are the dehumidification units, but they rely on the hot piping.
We're grossly over-engineered.
Oh, no.
It's definitely, at the time they built the pool, would have been nice to put a supplemental unit in then and separate it from the rest of the system. We're gonna see what we can do down the road. But the payback would be pretty quick, I think, so.
Well, and out of curiosity, would that, would that same dehumidification, could you use that boiler for running the building in the summer? Really don't need boilers at the same percentage to winter.
Yeah, we could probably get away with just running 1 boiler a little bit at a time.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, because we're running 1 for the pool and 1 for the rest of the building.
I'm just trying to figure out, can we undersize it and use it?
We could look, I think it would require us to kind of disconnect the piping from the main loop and then just put the piping in the full properly. So, but something to research for sure. Security update, so Bill and I can answer any questions that we have on this. We had a lot of people come and ask what we're doing security-wise, what are we doing to enhance security to make things safer. And aside from the physical changes that we make to the building, one of the things that we're talking about is ALICE training, which is alert, lockdown, inform, counter, and evacuate. It's a program that the administration has done some research on. We were given temporary access to the learning tool. We learned a little bit about it. I'm not an expert by any means. I just learned not to be dangerous myself. But I know Bill Rick knows about this. There are some of the local police. Some have some training in this.
Newtown Police have training in it. All the police departments are in full support of it. Myself and Nate Scott were trained, took a 2-day course in it 2 years ago. How we get it to the teachers, and that's the problem. And this is going right through this company. That's the way to do it. Best way to do it.
So this is a process that the cabinet team does endorse for sure. It's a 4-step program. It is a K through 12 implementation plan, and that doesn't mean that kindergartners are doing the same thing that the seniors taught. It's part of it. Everybody has different training. It's not a linear or sequential. It's a if this then that kind of thing. It's not necessarily cowering in the corner. It's reacting and hopefully saving lives in the event of a really unfortunate situation. So it's a really good sound plan. I don't want to get into a lot of the details because I'm always hesitant to opt. I tell everybody exactly what it does, and I don't know that it really works. But I'm happy to answer anything I can about it. It's something that there's an e-learning support and maintenance portion of it. So there's an online administrative portal for all of the employees to take the course and learn it on an admin level.
Mandatory?
It would be a mandatory training for the entire staff. There's a train-the-trainer program. So there's a group of that's the bundled training, a 2-day training course. So it's limited to 50 people. I don't know if we would have 50 internal people. but we can team up with the local police departments and offer some seats to them. If we offer seats to the police and we have everybody we want, and there's still some space, we have the option of either selling seats to other school districts or being neighbors and letting some other school districts come in and share the seats. But it does provide us with an opportunity to team with other groups while we do this. And then once we train the trainers, and they become our folks internally that each year can go out and train the staff at scheduled times that we have to work on. So this whole plan, although we'd be looking to get your approval on it, it would be a budget item for the next budget season, and it wouldn't be implemented until the fall of next year. So it's not something we're looking to try to obviously do in the last 2 months of school. But we would like to know that the board is interested in it so that we can begin to actually plan when teachers could take this training as we develop, the PLCs and everything else that happens over the next school year. There are costs associated with it, obviously, so, when we understand those, it's a professional service agreement. So organizational certification candidate, which is one person, is $0. Bundled training, the 2-day training is $13,500. And there's a 2-day advanced ALICE training. It's all included as part of that.
Let's just pause for a second. A 2-day advanced training, we're going to send people to that. So we're going to have to, this will be total project
It's going to
costs.
be in an auditorium.
I understand that, but those people have other tasks or in itself. So if I have 50 people attending, it's $100 a day. It's not outrageous, but that's $5,000 for project costs.
For internal cost, yes.
Well,
I'm just talking about paying ALICE.
I got you. But the internal costs are not, it's a citizen cost. So it's $5,000. I'm not objecting to it. I just want to reflect on it, which is soft costs, if you will. Just another $5,000. Oh,
Yeah, that's certainly the high end of it. As Doug had said, we will be partnering with our police
agreed.
departments on this. So that right there reduces it from 50. And then you're going to have a number of administrators as well.
Glad to have spent $5,000 on it if I get more people into it. That's not our company block.
Yep.
I'm just looking at just
Want to be clear.
costs.
Yep.
Perspective.
So all those things considered, what we would pay ALICE themselves is $15,000 for the initial training, one-time service. Then annually recurring services, there's an e-learning support and maintenance and 1,500 users for K through 12, 9,300. So every year for the electronic program, for the e-learning process, which is updated and new information is provided, it's not stale information, it's $99.50.
The teachers are trained every year.
We have to have an online training annual.
Yeah, I believe there's an annual refresh. I believe.
That would be mandatory.
Yes, I think we need to verify that it's
That
annual.
happens at your seat, though.
But-
That can happen at a desk. It's not legal.
Yeah, it's online training.
That's my thing,
They're not sitting in an auditorium all over again and taking half a day. This is an online.
so I just want to make sure that we put measures in place, that we somehow know or confirm or whatever it looks like, that it is done.
There's definitely
Yes,
some more
without a doubt.
details we have to iron out. I'm not going to stand here tonight and tell you I know everything and how it's going to work.
I agree.
New staff comes on the next year that may not have been through the training itself. We have to figure out how those people get trained by the trainer as well. It might not be 1,500 people that year. It might be 50, whatever. But I think there's going to be things administratively we have to learn as we go through this.
Act 48 is measured in hours of classroom, right?
Yes,
We explore the interface of this with Act 48.
it would be eligible.
There you go. So that's, because I want to look at that from the perspective of this is part of their, we do things with people with Act 48 on an annual basis. Just count towards it. It's a 2-hour refresh, my number, not theirs.
But it should be required.
That's, yes.
Well, I'm hearing consistency is required.
I don't think you have an option. I think it's something you learn, whether you implement it or not, whether you use it.
Well, that's the other side, which is it's Act 48 qualified. I've got one day when I have another Act 48 days. I actually knocked $5,000 on this one.
Right, for in-service days.
The other thing I would say, not related, and I don't need to have a lengthy conversation about it here, but we probably should talk about, I think the community is waiting for what steps we've taken or where we are or what we're looking at. And it might be good to include in perhaps one of Susan's updates or whatever, just pointing people here to say that we're talking about it, we're looking at the measures. Because I think the community is interested in what steps we're taking.
The program is really, I mean, is interesting and it's very informative. It will help anyone, whether no one knows how anyone will react in a real life situation. But this will definitely give you some tools that you wouldn't have had otherwise. It's,
I know that Ed, technically, the board members checked through it this last time and found it responsible. And I've talked to some folks who put their daughters through it, and privately, somehow they put them through it. I don't remember who that was, but yeah, they will know.
The only other question that I would ask for clarification is that last line, e-learning users K through 12, we're planning on our students doing something with e-learning, is that what that means?
No, that's for staff.
Just staff?
Yeah.
that's staff.
Okay.
Staff will then,
All right.
students will be involved.
The K through 12 kind of through there, and I want to make sure it's.
No, like it's staff changes.
Yes. Yeah, okay, good.
So the first year, because of the training, is about 25,000, and every year thereafter is the 9950. So they do the one time of 15, they work with 50 people essentially, and then
So
they still hit you with the 9,900 the first year.
Yeah, really.
So the first year is 25,000, and every year thereafter is.
We're doing training the trainer, so it's great we're doing train the trainer. I'll have somewhere less than 50. They're going to do this online thing. What are my 50 people going to do with their training? I mean, not to be silly, but it looks like, my intention would have been if the first year, 50 people doing training, that they're going to do something like Cascade, and I wouldn't pay the 9,300 or 9,950.
Right, and this is a changing program. It doesn't stay the same throughout its life. They learn something from every event, and they incorporate into the program. The trainer certificate is only good for 2 years, right?
But what are they doing with it? Are they who are they training it and what?
Well, any new employees that you have.
But I have my existing universe of employees.
Right.
I've sent 50 people to training, and I've got this e-online thing. My 50 people finish their training. There's got to be some period where they're training people.
Oh, they're the ones that are going to train the rest of our teachers, all of our teachers.
Okay, so I don't have that. So I don't have that's segment on here. So that's the other. So again, it's an Act 48 question, which is, does their training other people internally count as Act 48? Because there's another unseen labor cycle in there of I have, let's call it 1,500 staff members taking a how many hour course. I'm good with it. I just need to know it. That's all I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, the training model is a hybrid of e-learning as well as face-to-face. So the e-learning piece is generic to be applied, at whatever school, anywhere in the country. But then, at each of our 15 schools, soon to be 14 schools, we need to make that real and say, okay, what does this look like in our site? So those decisions have to be made. That becomes the principal's planning team, as well as that layer of training to the rest of the faculty and staff.
Too deep in the weeds too early?
Yeah, I think.
I just want to know that there's interest so that we come forward
Right.
and then we begin to implement a real plan and we'll get far more details.
That's
I'm fine with it, but I'm fine with it. My issue is just there's more components to it from a people perspective than just the dollars on the sheet. And that I would be cautious. It's a bigger commitment that I'm fine with the idea. I just want to know what it is, because it also has to be scheduled into a calendar.
Exactly. That's why we want to do this early so that we can begin to evaluate.
I expect we'll see some of those
You will.
details coming up. Now,
That's the next step, is to figure out how.
And we reach out to others.
I mean, 50 sounds like a lot, but when you talk about 15 schools, you did 2 people per school, you're at 30 or 40 even like an hour.
And you reach out to the other school districts that already have this.
It builds up.
And ask them, how did you do it? How did you roll it out? And we can learn from them.
I
So
think you have interest.
these costs will come from the security budget as part of the maintenance in the facilities budget. So we're not looking for money outside of the budget that we already have. I just wanted to bring it to you.
I think you've shown.
Consider yourself blessed.
Thank you. The other thing, one of the bills here tonight that we're working on are some, we have the annual camera maintenance management each year. We're starting now because we have over 350 cameras. We have to maintain those throughout the district. So we want to try to replace 5% or whatever it is per year so that we're not falling behind and having antiquated equipment throughout the district. So some of it is taking the old pan, tilt, zoom, PTZ cameras that are in the corner of a building. It used to be, oh, we'll just buy one and we can move it around. The problem is it only lives in one spot. If something happens outside of it, it doesn't matter. They only really work if you have somebody managing monitors all day long so that they can operate those. So what we're doing district-wide is we're putting 3 cameras at corners of buildings. Our new buildings have it, and we're working to go to some of the old buildings and get the coverage so that they're fixed, but they're always catching everything happening around every corner of the building. So some of that's in here. We have Richboro Middle School enhancements, which these cameras and car access bars will move with us when we decide to do something with Richboro, but because it's going to be an elementary school, some additional doors are going to be used for playground, recess, going outside, coming in for Champions program, or coming in kindergarten, whatever it is. We want to have some additional key fobs put in to make it function for the next 2 years as an elementary school, and some cameras at some other locations now that the little girls are going to be there. The annual camera replacement management, we have a handful at a couple schools. We're using some of the money we would use to kind of take care of Richboro. We have a fixed budget for security, obviously. And the camera server upgrade, one of the oldest servers for these cameras will be replaced also, so that we have some additional space for the middle school. And some of the, whenever we have these new cameras, we have to have space for those. So, just an update on some of the enhancements and replacements we're working on.
Can we talk for a few moments about some things? Bill, you're going to stay roll in, or you're going to go?
No, I'm just going to let Bill go now. So if we have anything for Bill, it'd be a good time to hit him up.
No, and so 16 years ago, we went through an exercise that all the classrooms could be locked from the inside.
Right.
So is that's still the case?
Yes.
So for our barricading place or shelter in place, all the classrooms can be locked from the inside. I know people have talked about these other adaptations you can buy to secure a door, lock a door across the bottom and everything else. You know, if you look at an average class building art, for lockable spaces, there are 50 of those in any one building, I would guess. So you're up to hundreds of spaces. My problem with those ancillary locking mechanisms people see, they say, oh, look, it's simple. You take it out, spread it, push it across the door. I got kids in those classrooms. And those kids can do that just as easily as an adult. If you want the thing to be available to them, it's available to the kid and to the adult. And the teacher's out of the classroom, they can get a kid to slide it across the door. That door is effectively barricaded with no external means of opening it. It's not a good situation.
And the fire marshal will improve it.
Even better, you know, because I see everybody, you know, a lot of people are jumping towards fast and quick answers.
Yes.
We've gone through a reasonable request, and someone will say, well, shoot the lock off the door. You know what, they can do a lot of things. But first thing is make a presentation that is hard to get around. That's the locked door. We talked last time or a few times ago about badges and staff wearing badges and even students wearing their badges. Have we had any progress or movement on that?
Nothing to report yet.
Okay. So we'll look to that specifically for next year's implementation. It's going to become part of our standard operating procedure, particularly middle school and high school, elementary school. I can see kids having problems with badges. Right. Lose them.
Wearing badges, we would not be unique, requiring our staff to wear badges.
No, staff has to now. Staff has to now.
Right.
Students. I want students to have their badges, because that's part of it is identifying people. You know who they are. You see when they come. We'll rotate through those badges. Fresh badges every year, right?
Yes.
Fresh color every year.
Yes.
Okay.
So what do you do with kids that don't have badges?
You bring them in the office.
You give them a temporary badge.
And that's what I hear from the principals, please don't do that.
I-
Principals that came from other districts said, we spent all day disciplining kids for.
I'm not trying, what do you want?
Yeah,
So
I don't know the answer.
This is
Yeah.
the place to talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know the answer, I don't intend to, but that's what I have heard from people that have worked at other school districts. Said, oh my God, please don't go there. We tried it and we spent, all our time. What do we do to the kids that don't have?
I have a child that's gonna forget a badge 4 days out of 5.
She'll miss school. No, I'm interested.
I'm simply saying.
I'm trying to, so how do you get around it? That's my query to you.
Well, or what is it worth? That's my query to you. What does it really achieve? Does it achieve what you're hoping? Because I would imagine badges become over time. Yes, probably year 1, badges you carry it. Year 2, people get accustomed, people become complacent. I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
In a corporate environment,
Of course. I agree.
I understand, that's why I'm not trying to do elementary schools. I'd probably be there on the backs on middle schools. When you get to high school, you're talking about, I don't know why we wouldn't try it. We issued a badge to every kid. I don't know why we wouldn't try it.
A kid loses a badge, drops out of their bag at the,
They have to
Main
replace
Street.
them, They're gonna
Well, and then somebody who don't want to have the badge picks up the badge.
And we have,
Those are the kinds of concerns that we've been hearing so far in our
we
conversation.
have kids in gym class, kids in the pool. There's a lot of.
Well, I understand, but come on, guys, I'm not gonna have a badge in the pool.
No, but I'm saying there's a lot of things to take into consideration. In the gym classes, you'll have 200 kids in gym, and they go outside.
We don't change the gym the way they used to.
That's true too, yeah. But there's a lot to consider.
I'm just trying to figure out how we got this in the building.
I just feel like Council Rock now has more services and coffee mugs. I mean, I'm probably $300 in to what is probably sitting in lost and found in Council Rock.
My idea on the third, my idea on the water jug is gonna work.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we get it back.
I've got to be $300 to $500 in over the course of my children's lifetime. Services, mugs. So I'm only speaking to my own circumstances. Perhaps I'm not
So,
mentioning my.
I'm glad we bring it up because I'm getting the impression as we sit at the table that this is not something that the administration is supportive of.
It's been lukewarm so far.
We couldn't afford it, but biometrics would be the way to do it.
Well, you're absolutely right on both counts.
When they go to the library, when students go to the library, the high school, they must show their ID card. Or they're not allowed in.
How do they work the cafeteria?
As far as
The payment on point of sale system.
over time, that the the adults get to know the students, they really do,
Yeah.
and I don't see a big problem with it right now, with the, not being able to identify anybody or something like
No,
that.
I understand that,
Yeah.
and, I understand the corporate world is different than the
Right.
education world. In the corporate world, our worst asset is the person that recognizes everybody because the guy that got fired yesterday comes in because it's Bob. It's a different situation, I certainly appreciate that. And part of the reason for having the discussion here is, one, the public discussion, and second thing is, everybody points to it and says, well, in the corporate environment, you do X and Y, why didn't you do that here? The other one, I don't want to prolong on, people said about metal detectors. Well, metal detectors to come into the building like our size and a flush of the kids coming in the mornings, that'd be a problem. And the second thing is, if we do metal detectors, my understanding is, we cannot rent the building to anybody else with the metal detector shut off, because if we did that, whatever you're trying to keep out of the building comes in when the building's in use, not during the school day, and goes no longer. So I'm back to the same part, that metal detector, unless it's gonna be manned every hour that building is open, and then every entrance, pointless. So I just wanted to give an error, because we hear a lot of people have come forward after the incidents in Florida, and have said, well, these are things that will change it. Easy locks that anybody can apply, probably won't. Badges, I thought they might help, I'm wrong, so I'm part of that crowd. All these things.
I want to say though, Jared, I think badges, if that's something we want to explore, I would have to presume we would have to be willing to invest in a part-time employee who's going to spend 3 hours a day dealing with kids with no badges.
I think one of the ways the badges get to be used or get to be incorporated, and actually it's a little bit of a building on what Joe said, is if the badges have more value other than just flashing them, yeah. I mean, if you use the badge, truthfully, if you use the badge in a lunch, actually in an attendance situation, that the kids come in and run their badge under a barcode reader and then the teacher knows where they are in that classroom. But we're talking about an investment, and part of that, so but that also then tells you who's where, when's where, and, yeah, well, we're coming back to biometrics. So it's all money. It's a lot of money, and then we have to weigh it against the value. So I didn't want it to go, people say, well, you haven't discussed it, we haven't had, maybe it's me discussing, but no, I want to give voice to it.
I put a great deal of research into metal detector. I couldn't find a good way that was work. There's logistical challenges on top of
10 feet between.
Well, I think we have to be careful too about what makes us feel better.
versus what works.
Welcome to the airline.
And I don't know the answer to that, but I think some of what we're talking about makes us feel better as opposed to what is really effective.
I will take the criticism from the last meeting we did have, which was regarding doors that are propped open and doors that, and I think that is something we should work on, can work on, we are working. And the other thing I'll tell you right now, from my perspective, is we heard many times about parents who will walk around security, because they're a rush or they're testing security themselves. This is me, I'll say it, my voice doesn't sound the same, it's Jerry Grubb saying it. Guys, if there's somebody in that building who didn't come through the front door, shut down the building, get the person, have them arrested. I'm gonna go through that 2 times, I'm gonna put them on the newspaper, that's gonna stop in a heartbeat. Okay, I am tired of parents testing the system. All they're doing is they're wearing down our staff and getting our staff used to an inappropriate behavior. So from my perspective, if we can talk about it in public, someone's in the building, nobody knows who they are, crash the building, get the police there, have them arrested. No joke. We post the buildings, they're not trespassing. Improve the no trespassing sign, crash the building, arrest the parents. I don't care. Anybody have a difference of opinion? I'm willing to listen to it.
I feel like it's almost a separate.
It is, but we're talking about security we have built here, and that's.
I just think, I think probably the community would be interested in the public meeting to discuss security.
That's within the boundaries we can, that's fine. That's, I think, Bill, you're supportive of it, because our goal is know who's in the building. That's the first thing we have to do. And if we get used to seeing people in the building who aren't supposed to be there, then nothing else we're gonna do is gonna work.
And our adults know to check for these.
Exactly.
They do it all the time.
But you know what? See what I'm saying? 1 or 2 times that's in the newspaper. Yeah, we'll come off as hard guys, but you know what? People who care about the kids aren't gonna care about that. They're gonna buy into it.
So people are walking into the schools and not checking into the office?
People have tried, and they come in and they tell us about how they were successful in doing it.
Well, that's.
And if I were present there, I'd have arrested at the time.
Are there situations when that does happen, like when there's like a field day or something like that? Just, they have to be a little more strict, right?
There are different days for different things. These are people who just came in because they were testing the system.
All right, I think you're off the hook.
Good, thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Rattling the wind.
I'm tired.
So thanks for seeing us.
Thank you.
Middle school projects are both in good shape. Newtown Middle School is essentially finished. There are odds and ends they're working on, larger components, some bleachers that have to come in, some modern vault doors that everything's in place to hang the doors. The gym floor is being finished. I'm waiting for mechanical systems to be up and running so they can do that. So we're in very good shape there. In another 30 days, I said that it's going to be in probably move-in condition.
It looks.
Looks really nice.
It's fantastic. It's really. Now, site work continues through the summer and demolition of the existing building through next summer. But building's in good shape. And Holland is in good shape with the phases we're working on. And then this summer, We have a lot of work to do in the cafeteria, in the gym, in the library. Spaces kids are still occupied today. And site work there as well.
You should have a much tighter schedule.
Yeah, and what an amazing transformation. Trader's done a tremendous job. So is President on the new building, but, you know, to drive by Holland and see how those 1970 metal panels with no windows transformed into brick and windows is just amazing. It's really,
And a weak air conditioning.
and in a week air conditioning, or I'm running out of town. So really just spoke for those things. The next project to talk about is Wrightstown Elementary School. We did receive bids for Wrightstown. Our budget going into bids was $18,194,000. After receiving bids and including value-added alternates and about $475,000 in project allowances that are included in the bid, plus the money that we put towards the Richburg Middle School work, the busing, and some of the construction items there, we are still about $150,000 under budget. So, and that includes building the gym and not recommending removing the gym. And I'll talk about the alternate shortly, but really favorable numbers. I'll go over the number of bidders shortly, but the recommended alternates, the ones that we're saying because of the favorable bids, because of the value of the alternates, not just because we're under budget, but because these alternates are good numbers and make good sense for us. The courtyard had a hardscape classroom right off the library so that 30 students could go outside and built-in seating. There's actually a built-in teaching wall with marker board, so like an exterior marker board with a covered protection over it so that even if it's sunny, so you can actually use it. It's a functional space. We're recommending building that. I know that at Churchville, the PTO came in for us about 4 years ago and built a piece of a classroom in there. And at that time, it was around $30,000, which was a partial donation to do it. So at this price, it's far more than they built, and the value is very good. So unclassified rock excavation is not that exciting, but what it means to us is that the contractors, if they hit rock below grade doing their excavations, we don't quantify it. Right? The base bid requires us to quantify any rock that they encounter, make sure that we measure it, and that they're paid a unit price for that rock removal. We know that we're the large, it's almost the size of if you see a train go by, you can see one of the tanker trains. Below ground is a water storage tank for fire protection. That'll be full of water. If there's a fire, the sprinkler systems will be activated, and the pump from that stored water will pump that water to the school to put the fire out, because we don't have public water there. So we know at 8 foot below grade is rock where that tank goes. So that entire excavations can end up being rock. So when we look at the GC and the DC's general contractor, plumbing contractor, combined for $37,000, they hit rock, they own it. So no matter how much rock they hit, and we know when we quantify it, it's likely going to be more than this in value or slightly above. They're taking a risk, so they said it's worth it to us for $37,000 to assume the risk for rock. It's worth the value of GC. Additional casework, we have about 125 linear feet of wall cabinets and 125 linear feet of cubbies that need the student cubbies of storage space that we built in as an alternate. The bids weren't favorable. Those wall cabinets and the extra storage cabinets would have been removed. For $8,000 to add that kind of storage. And when I say 125 feet of wall cabinets, that doesn't include the shelving inside, which probably makes the storage 250 or more. Custom shelves in there as well.
I have never met a teacher that didn't want storage.
Especially on
I think this is.
the costs.
You ever seen this since we all want to, you ever seen this? I'm married to one. Need a roll, 1932.
So lightning protection is something we looked into.
No. Just that, I apologize, under the rock, it's EC alternate that we did not recommend.
This is recommended.
Yeah, but right in the paragraph there, it says MC.
MC.
I just want to clarify, that's just say EC.
Easy.
Yeah, that's all. I was trying to find the number.
You're making me all alarmed.
No, I was trying to get, I was just trying to check the number, sorry. Quick, I was,
Bottom line is the number's correct, I just got it wrong.
yeah, we were just making sure.
That was a lot of chatter.
That was scary.
Just turn to the M side of it.
The numbers are correct, it just says, that should say EC.
Thank you.
That's much.
Thanks for reviewing.
We tried.
Yeah.
I did review it.
Fine work here.
Yeah. Lighting protection,
my fault.
electrical contractor, we've been putting lighting protection in all the schools we've done, especially schools that are susceptible to, storms, things like that. So for $43,000, the entire building, all of the rooftop equipment, the roof edge, the entire building's grounded and it's protected from lightning strikes. Lighting control system is basically gives us the ability to better manage the lighting within every classroom, especially from a energy performance standpoint. We want to change that the daylight harvesting, which dims our lights automatically, instead of teaching wall to back of room, wants to turn to window to corridor wall. We can rotate the programming and things like that with the acceptance of this alternate, and allows us to adjust all this remotely through our building management system on a laptop. We go in and change lighting if it snows and we don't have school and they have time to come on, we go in and we shut them all down so the building's not lit. That's what we program today.
You get a break on the shorts because of lightning protection.
I don't know. I didn't talk about that.
And do we also have to check the bonding on that as well? Or-
Not usually.
Check the bonding, but the insurance.
Grounding.
The electrical bond, yeah.
The ground,
Okay.
yeah.
Is it supposed to be checked on?
Not typically, no. I mean, what's,
Just wondered.
It's a book ceiling, basic purpose.
I was just wondering.
what he's asking is you do a test to verify that the grounding is still,
There's
they
still constellation.
don't even do it in pools.
Yeah. no,
That's not required, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very hard for
We
it to
had
fail
to-
because
we had
there's
to-
multiple places where you're doing it. So unless someone actually went around and cut all of it.
Okay, that's.
So the value of these alternates is $143,000. They're included in the numbers that we presented. So there's a couple alternates we're not recommending. So there was a deduct of the gymnasium. The total to the link to gym is $995,900. If you don't build the gym, that would be the credit. However, the cost per square foot to build that gym versus what we would anticipate it to be is about $70 a square foot less to build it as part of this project, benefiting from the contractor's scope of work of the entire project. If we were to build this later, that number, let's say it's about 27% savings. Later, it would probably cost you 50% to build. And the other things to consider, I know that this has been a discussion item and the community has really come out. I've gotten about 10 or 12 emails. I think the board's been copying a lot of that. In addition, from a programming standpoint, the existing cafeteria would not be able to facilitate the entire student body based on the additional classrooms and the number of kids from a code standpoint, but the gymnasium would more than accommodate all of the student body plus a couple hundred more if you wanted to have an assembly for the entire group of kids in one space and not split it up. And again, I have the support of Beth and other folks. There's spring, is there a concert or something at Wrightstown tonight? So a lot of the parents couldn't come. They said they wanted to come and support, but that certainly supports the gym. And from a scheduling standpoint, not having to schedule PE around lunch periods and whatnot in the other spaces, something that wanted to be pointed out.
Just so I'm clear, this is a double negative slide. Right? You're not recommending to accept the deletion.
We're not
It's a double negative
recommending, we are
slide.
not recommending removing the gym,
There you go.
which would reduce the value of the cost of the project by $995,000.
That's fine, it's a double negative.
$99,000.
It's a double negative slide.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Double negative.
Not recommending.
We're recommending keeping the gym in the
There you
base bid and building the gym. We want to build a gym.
We're gonna build a gym.
That's what.
I'm recommending
The recommendation. If you did build a gym, you would save $9 million.
The other thing that is in the base bid that we're recommending paying for, that was on the first slide as part of the total project cost, are terrazzo floors in the entire school. So we took an alternate to put a terrazzo floor finish in all of the existing hallways as well as the new. You're probably familiar with a terrazzo floor. It's the ground stone look throughout the whole school. We have it in some of the areas of South. We have it North. We have some at the two new middle schools. Which are
100%.
It's a sustainable product. It's going to last the life of the building. Whereas you put a vinyl composition tile in every 8 to 10 years, it's looking bad and needs to be replaced. And by the time you do that, handful of times, you more than pay for this product. And it's a clean product as well. So we're recommending keeping that in the project. Due to the favorable bids and the value of these, we're not recommending deleting the amount of the contract, another $1.1 million.
So you got terrazzo floors in the gym.
So we would have the building with the courtyard, we'd have the terrazzo floors, we'd have the gym, and lighting control enhancements, and some of the other stuff that's not so exciting, but is of value to us. These are just the bid results. General construction bids, we had 9 bidders, really good number of bidders, a lot of competition here. Mechanical, we had 7 bidders. Electrical, there were 5, plumbing 6, and environmental abatement 5. So we had strong bid interest, really good numbers, and I know you've had some bids recently. You can speak to the success we've had.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you guys are kind of making it look easy for yourselves and for the community. I think Doug's leadership and the team here, everybody working together, I think has put together and made this look easy. I mean, there's other districts where they don't see these results. I mean, you're on budget with something he put together almost a year and a half ago. With the environment today, you've got $1.6 million in contingency still sitting there, and you're getting everything you wanted, including the gym. That's pretty much something you should be proud of, and recognize, and your community should recognize that you're getting tremendous value. We're getting bids recently, and other places are not seeing such favorable things. There's some scary things going on out there with pricing. I think we're going to be, and Doug's very good at this, our team, the Schrader Group. We're going to have to pay for some stored materials because there's some stuff going out there with aluminum, steel, and all of this. That's people are taking advantage of the situation, and some is real. So we're just going to have to do that to help the contractors along. But I think the reputation you have for how we execute the projects and how you guys pay on a timely manner certainly speaks to the volume of bidders and the competitiveness. I mean, the GC that's the low bidder is the current one on the Newtown building, and he went after it very, very hard because he recognizes working with the team. And so, he clearly separated himself a little bit from the crowd there.
And we've actually worked with all the other primes. Getting in mechanical, we've done mechanical work many times in the past. Stand-up plumber, not as much, but we've worked with him on smaller projects. And Burrow was the electrician, they were the mechanical contractor on the Newtown Middle School. And worked with them electrically at the South High School project. They're very good.
They were really good though, as well.
And good, no. And Sergeant Enterprises, the environmental guy, is very good. They helped us with all of our modulars when we had problems on those on a really regular basis. They are.
That's not that's a geo. Somebody did some work behind Bill Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to go over that in just a minute.
The only last thing I'll just say, and Doug mentioned it, but I think you should also remember this. I think the decision you made to move the students out also really helped that. Because
and that was mentioned.
Right, but I just don't want to underemphasize that because I was the one, trying to push that, and we all took a little bit of a beating on it. But a bit of effort to get that through, and there was $815,000 that's allocated for the move to Richboro. That's in that budget, so that shows you that everything we brought to the table actually happened. And I think that's really good to see for your sake and everybody else's.
So the project achievements, it's under budget and on schedule at this point. We'll be bringing these to the board next meeting for hopefully your approval to move forward. And immediately after, we'll have or sometime before, have a pre-construction meeting and start getting the conservation district at the meeting, get them on board, the township, and have the officials with us and all of the other folks involved to kick off the project, because we're going to start some things before kids get out, but nothing in the building that would affect the kids. We want to try to get them mobilized and get things going so that when kids do leave, they are ready to hit the ground running. That's really important. And I wanted to touch base on one thing you mentioned about stored materials and paying them for those. We are very careful when we do pay for stored materials. We many times go out to the yard and storage facility to see the materials, to see them labeled for our project, to make sure that they're bonded or insured and protected in the event that the warehouse has a problem, we're protected and it's replaced. So we don't just simply pay and trust that it's happening. We trust and verify at the same time, essentially. So the value-added offerings are in the bid and for durability and maintainability. And we've incorporated energy efficient systems and controls, even though this wasn't a LEED silver or LEED gold building or LEED period, we still have the same energy efficient systems here that we're going to put in our LEED gold facilities.
Rolling Hills is almost going to be the same.
Exactly. High efficiency gas style boilers. We have air-cooled chillers. A very good system that will make the building comfortable and air conditioned and all those good things. Also, as a part of this bid, we, again, in the budget, HVAC testing, adjusting, and balancing, Butler Balancing Company, $14,000 fee, plus we put a $10,000 allowance in for any additional testing that may or may not occur. We don't use it, we get it back. It's $24,000. Commissioning, not for LEED, but HVAC commissioning services, $28,000. Construction testing services, David Blackmore, so this is who you were speaking of. They have a $60,000 service fee, put in an allowance, so for, well, I should say $71,000. Is it 71 or?
Yep, I'll check.
Yeah. At any rate, we have an allowance filled in for any additional testing that could be required. This is the one that was slightly over, the rest were both under budget, so at the end, all of these combined under budget as well. So all that just goes towards additional contingency. The next steps are
Construction testing, actually, Doug, it's, their fee was 50 and we had a 10,000, so the total is 60.
60, okay. I'll make sure that's clean.
The total is.
Yeah. So May 17th, we're looking to award the bids and alternates, approve plan part F, attachment C, which basically delineates the cost between the building and the site. We still have the contractors complete that, are we?
Or G's. G08, we'll probably have them do the G08 still.
Probably should, right?
Yeah.
Groundbreaking is May. Construction begins in the building in June, the end of June. June 19th, the renovations, additions, and site improvements are complete. July 19th, we furnish Wrightstown and relocate from Richborough Middle School. And in August, we are occupying the renovated and expanded facility. So in 1 year, this will be ready to go.
Are you going to break ground and move people out simultaneously, or do we have a little bit of overlap in there?
Like 1 week.
June 22nd to June 29th.
1 week to move.
The movers are moving the building. July, right after the holiday, they're diving in.
Will Rolling Hills take 1 year also? And those kids will move also, I'm sorry, Trey.
Holland was probably 27 months.
Holland was like 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, but it was, we kept all the kids there.
That's what I want to get to, it was longer because you had to work around timings and schedules.
There's no doubt that between these two projects, Rolling Hills and Wrightstown, by using a building for a swing school, we're probably 800,000 to $1 million savings because we're not.
Oh, we just proved.
We were talking to.
Well, that's it, yeah.
It's demonstrated by the bids. Quicker time. And we finish in a year and we don't interrupt his, environment. So
I
that's
just say one
Wrightstown.
I'm sorry. I'm going back to the gym and I'm looking at the two projects. In my head, I look at them at the same because it's
We can say 2 projects.
Rolling Hills and Wrightstown. I think we're all clear that there is a divide in these communities because of our process. And so I'm interested in parity. And so to me, if everybody takes the same amount of time and I'm looking for parity between the projects and the outcomes. Anything we can do to start to heal some of that is where my head is going, or at least what is in part important to me, in addition to costs, obviously.
You're right, that's probably one thing I didn't say that should have been said, Ms. Harris. So that's the one school that doesn't have a gym. All would have a gym by building that. So we would have parity throughout the district, the elementary. So
Sorry.
That's fine, thank you. Rolling Hills, we're good to move on. So last meeting, we talked about Rolling Hills. There was some discussion about, and I understand this plan was oriented north at the bottom of the sheet where the road is down at the bottom and Jordan is off to the side. And there was some discussion about, hey, do we want to consider moving the admin and kindergarten kind of piece to this act based on the site plan provided at that time? And can we find the potential of 3 classrooms as an alternate in the event that after redistricting, we might need space for 75 more kids at the school or section? So those are the things that were asked at the last meeting. So what we did is just took a look. Now we fixed the plan. So the top of the sheet is hot, right? And Jordan is over here. And the question was, can we come up with Jordan and have, the admin and kindergarten over in this area, make this kind of a primary entrance, which we certainly could do. We demonstrated it by looking at the plan. The challenge with it is, although there's a bus route here, there's not sufficient parent drop-off or parent parking at this area. And ideally, you want to observe from the admin area the parent traffic and parent drop-off more than the buses, because the buses are us. There's more control of the buses. And to make a parking lot work similar to that we had on this side over here, and kind of, do the site work on the 2 sides to facilitate that, probably add $500,000 to the project. And I think that the construction of this parking lot that happened not too long ago, before me, but had to happen shortly before me, so it's in pretty good shape, works well for drop-off. And if there's issues with stacking, I think the cost to extend this loop internally to try to collect more cars on the site would be more cost-effective than doing the other things we're talking about doing. So we did look at it, and I don't think any idea is a bad idea, and the architect took the time to do it. I just think it's cost prohibitive to consider reorienting the front of the building on this project.
I appreciate looking into it, that's.
So, but we did. The other thing we did look at was the 3-classroom addition, which fits very nicely off on this corner, which could easily be pulled off or put back. In the case of approvals, we would put this in as a base bid and be part of the plan. And if it didn't be an issue, we would, like the gym, deduct ultimately take them off.
Another double negative. Another double negative.
Another double negative. The township wants to approve a project with all of the impervious surface documented, the impact of parking for these 3 classrooms, which is probably a car per teacher plus another half, or whatever it ends up being. So we have to facilitate that in our design. So this would be part of the base bid and removed if we didn't accept it.
And for Act 34, Doug.
And for Act 34, so that when we come and we present what the maximum cost impact is to the community, this would be included. Well, let me go to the plan that was suggested, and then I'll show you. So this is the admin office and the kindergarten next door. So this is admin and nurse and kindergarten right here. This is the parent drop-off, visitor parking. So if you have a 6th student or you're dealing with kindergarten students, you're right inside the kindergarten office and back out. You no longer have to go to the far corner of the building to to retrieve students in the back. And the 3 classroom alternate is here. We just extend the corridor. We have exterior doors here. Gives us all. It's really nice. It actually provides a secondary entrance off of the bus drop, so that if you wanted to bring kids in both areas on a rainy day, you could get kids in quicker and get them dry. So it actually is a nice idea if we needed it. Otherwise, the plan looks exactly as it did the last time we talked. With your blessing, we'd like to move forward with getting this in front of the town sketch submission so that we can get the approval process going. The site stays the same, so we would have the internal drive, drop off, pick up, visitor parking, the bus loop over in this area with some additional parking, which we would say is really more staff parking, because they can get there before the buses can look around the cars, buses take the kids at the end of the day, then staff leaves, and they're not mixing the buses anyway. During the middle of the day, I'm sure it could still be used if somebody wanted to park there, but if you really want to park here and go right in the entry, these doors would all be locked down. The alternate classroom addition here, we've been looking at where the potential solar array would go to make this building green and LEED for the ACE grant, and I'll talk about the ACE grant shortly. But we're thinking it probably needs to be in this vicinity. There's trees here.
Check the tree lines.
Yeah, so well, there's kind of clear here, and so where it goes, or is it long and skinny, and we have to make sure we provide green for the kids.
You're trying to maximize your play.
Maximize play area, minimize this, but I think we've determined that somewhere around 21% of the power for the building will be provided from this solar.
And it's about what, 38,000 square feet of area?
Square foot, yeah, about 30,000. 30,000, yeah.
24,000
square foot.
Yeah, we've been able to pare it down. Yeah.
Stormwater management is somewhere in the back, but that doesn't look like it did in the old days. It's buried underground and grass still lives over top of it, so it wouldn't impact the kids. Just collects the stormwater and slowly either infiltrates into the ground or some discharges to where it used to, as long as it doesn't exceed pre-construction volumes. We're okay. So the next step for us is to have a civil engineer contact the township and get in front of them for a sketch submission, which would likely be in July. Would be the soonest we could get in front of Northampton Township. These are our notes that we basically had before the schematic design. I just wanted to carry those in case there were questions from anyone that may not have been here last meeting. I wanted to touch on the budget one last time. So the last meeting we talked about the budget moving from 19.6 to 22 because of some of the unconventional things happening in the building. We went through a lot of detail on that. The one thing that would be different is to include the 3 classroom alternate. We'd be going 22 to 23. So I just want to, for Act 34 purposes, show the cost of the 23 in the event those classrooms are built. And we're not upside down in our Act 34 number. So we have to make sure that we're presenting the maximum cost that it could be in the event that happens. So the increase is 3.4 versus the 2.4 from the initial estimate of probable cost. Again, still carrying very large contingencies at the same time. So we're not really going to know where we are until we know where we are. But I mean, this is planning the work. Again, these are the same numbers that we talked about before. A new building versus the existing building, and then the question comes up: well, if we have that increase with the 3 classroom additions, what happens with new? It just carries through, obviously. So if we were to build a new school, we still have that alternate for 3 classrooms in the event that it would grow. So that $1 billion carries through to the new construction. So the delta always remains the same between these projects, however we look at it.
Can you go back one slide?
Yep. Here.
Right, yeah, okay. So
It goes from a 475 to 550 capacity with those 3 rooms. Now, if it's 27.
how many sections is that?
Well, I probably comment again.
So, with all that being said, the schedule for this project is, even though it's, it's May of 18 and this is a next year project, getting this in front of the township sooner rather than later is important because if we learn of any surprises, we need time to react, get to all the our local agencies. So we're looking for essentially design development, construction document approval somewhere around December of 18. So by starting in July, we believe that we can get to the point that we're coming back in December with bids and award of contracts somewhere between December and February. This allows us to actually get a lot of the submittals and heavy paperwork done and maybe even materials procured and ready to go. When they're sticking shovels in the ground, they're also delivering steel perhaps, or whatever else we have on that project versus Wrightstown, where we're going to be awarding, materials will be ordered and they'll be coming, several months from now. Here they're going to be delivered the day they start, which is advantageous to us, all of us. But everything else looks the same. As Wrightstown is emptying the building in June of 19, we're beginning to put Rolling Hills in that building, readying it for the 19-20 school year for them. Then the building finishes in August of 20, and we vacate Bridgeboro Middle School once again and put the Rolling Hills kids back in a newly renovated and expanded Rolling Hills.
Quite a logistical path that you could go from those. Doable though?
Doable. This will be a lot easier than this summer.
Really? All right.
This year he's doing 3,
4.
4.
Okay. Fair.
So I think I'm here next summer.
All right.
Please.
The 8th grant, the paperwork is in progress. I know there was a lot of assignments handed out by Dewey because they need input from many people, including Northampton Township, a letter of approval for us proceeding with this, which they happily gave us. That was forwarded to you. Everyone is cooperating and participating. Well, I think we got almost everything you need. Bob Reinhardt provided some stuff through PFM. And at this point, it's going to design team hands for energy modeling and some other things. It takes a while. So all that being said, the 18th of May, the grant submission goes in. In 17, July of 18, the CFA, remember?
Commonwealth Financing Authority.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Reviews the grants, and we'll find out in July, number one, if they have a second round, and number two, if there's money left, and if there is, if we're a candidate. I feel good that if there is money left, we're definitely a strong candidate based on this and our use. So keeping my fingers crossed that we have the opportunity to make this a LEED gold facility and reap the rewards of some of that grant money. And the other thing is we've been working through that design process and the award possible grant and the LEED designs. We think we can use systems similar to the middle schools and avoid ground source heat pumps, which would have added maybe $500,000 cost of the HVAC, which means that money can go back into our project and not towards a different design. So we'll see. So that's Rolling Hills, and maybe before Reeve and Colin leave, if there's any questions on Rolling Hills, Mike, would you mind?
No, maybe
Just take Rolling Hills now, and we'll just finish.
board members, questions on, if we're gonna let the design team leave, anybody want to comment on those two structures? I'll open it up for public comment. It's just comment. If you want to hear that, that would be fine.
Thank you, because it's really hard for me to follow you. Where is the bus circle? You showed us a couple different schematics for Rolling Hills, and I'm not sure, on one side it was on one side and the other
Sure,
in the back.
we said the board's request, we took a look at another option. What we're recommending is leaving it where it is today. So this is Jordan Road.
Right.
And this is the little bus circle off of Jordan Road right now. We're expanding to allow the buses to actually internally stack across here.
And where do the kids go when they get off the bus?
There are, this is the bus loop. There are a set of doors with a secure lobby. They can come in.
Like in a lot of schools, they gather in the gym or the cafeteria because they come
Here's the
in over a
cafeteria.
period of a half hour.
Yep, so we can bring them in, and we want to station in the cafeteria, it's right here. So they can come in this side, they can come in this side, they can all gather in the cafeteria. If there's a desire to get into the gym, we can keep them warm and dry and walk them right down to the gym this way, without staying outside and going to these doors. So there's direct access into the cafeteria area.
Do we do that?
I don't know how they.
I don't think we do that.
Not the
I think
bus
they go right
riders.
to the classroom, Nancy.
And Rolling Hills, do they go right to the classroom?
Right.
Yes,
Yep.
that's my
I
understanding.
couldn't know they went to the gym, right? A lot of schools, they.
So either way.
I think it
works
used to
well.
be until that became a security concern. It became a different security concern. That is my,
Yeah, the bus riders typically.
right.
Do you know, Marion, do they still go to the gym?
I don't know because my experience is 4 years ago now, so I would assume that that's different.
They go to the cafeteria at North.
All right.
Yes, in North they do, but I believe at the elementary schools, they go right to their classrooms. I don't think we're gathering kids in any one congregate place.
Necessary function as well.
Right, exactly.
So you think that'll be enough? How many buses can you empty at a time?
We only have about, because there's 150 walkers or something in that arena, maybe more.
200.
200, so we only have about 4 buses that come here.
Oh, wow.
So we have more than enough room for the buses, but I wanted them to be able to comfortably stack inside there without any risk of them sitting out on the road. So this gives them plenty of room to set the buses next to the building, next to the curb for kids to load at the end of the day. It works well.
And the other thing is, my impression is their cafeteria is really small.
We're not using the existing cabinet. This building is basically being entirely gutted and totally reworked. The space is nothing like it looks today. And then quickly, I'll go over this. All of the 19 classrooms plus 3 are on the perimeter. So every classroom has windows to daylight on the bottom and on the top. So we have daylight in every room. We moved the library to the middle of the building with light monitors to get daylight into it. The cafeteria has been moved down to this area with exterior windows and some larger cafeteria. Internal spaces like music and arts are in this area. We are providing some borrowed light from outside through roof light monitors into the hallways to get natural light into the middle. So this building will feel bright and fresh even if you're in the middle. If you're in any classroom, it'll feel like any other school in the district that has kind of a double stacked hallway where there's wings, except that they're all on the perimeter, which works very well. And we put spaces on the interior that may not need as much daylight.
So the bottom line is there's 19 large classrooms or sections.
There's 18 classrooms, and there's 1 kindergarten room, and there's additional 3 classroom halls.
Any other public comment?
I just wanted to thank everyone for your hard work. I know that this is a lot with all the other projects that are going on. So I just wanted to thank everyone quickly before you left.
All right,
And I know, I didn't want to embarrass them, but thank you for all of your work and for getting emails from a lot of us.
Any other? Okay, with that, we move on with our meeting.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for letting me be part of this.
Thank you. Moving service.
So we don't have much left now that we kind of taking.
It's not me.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
0-0 let's start.
So moving services, just a quick update. The big thing happening right now is that on Tuesday of next week, we have 27 people coming here to Chancellor to sit down and talk about how we're working the plan. We've done a lot of planning. Now we got to talk about how this actually looks and works. We have 4 different moving companies, 1 for each of the moves. We tried to bid a combined bid, but no one was interested in bidding all of the work. So we have 4 different guys. We're all going to sit in one room. We're getting the contractors. We're running each one of those projects into the room. Aramark, Chartwells, IT, you name it, whoever's involved, we're in the room. We're going to talk about exactly what door people are pulling up to, what door they're arriving through at the next school, where site activities are taking place by contractors, so we're not getting in someone's way. It's an entire coordination behind the meeting in an attempt to avoid finger pointing on June 22nd when all these trucks come rolling in and try to figure out how this works. So we've had pre-planning meetings at every school. We took the mover to every school, met with the staff, talked about how they pack boxes, what to expect. And now we're having the next level of how we're going to drive trucks through our district and make it work. So pretty big meeting. I'm excited about the meeting to try to get this all under control. I'll feel a little better after we have this meeting.
I'll feel better in July. Okay.
I'll feel much better in September.
Okay, fair.
So capital projects update, we have a bunch. This is basically the list and the percentage complete. We'll just kind of update this each meeting as we go. Right now, we are from a construction standpoint, 0%. But from an administrative standpoint, we've had all of our pre-construction meetings. We are working on submittals, schedule of values, all of those things are in the works. So we've had meetings with principals and all the stakeholders in this, and we're gonna continue to fly. The one project that will start early for sure is Chancellor Center exterior renovations, because we're here no matter what. I'm working around some of the larger meetings that take place in your training sessions and things, and we're bringing a lot of people in. So we're going to start in the front of the building. The facade that's out here, that low stone wall actually has to be removed. The stones marked and rebuilt to the point where it's really almost a disrepair. So it's got to come down and be rebuilt of that, and just put back up.
All of these projects have been bid.
All bid in the work. So. Then we'll move to this side of the building so we can get out of the way of student registration, which happens later in the year, so they're not coming in and working around contractors getting in the way, and then we'll kind of shift around to the other side. So this slate roof of this building gets replaced sections at a time. And the cupola gets redone and a lot of other good stuff, so.
We'll change the road on the bell.
We've done that.
I know. That's
Yeah.
good.
I'm sorry, Doug, quick question. I'm assuming that this building is part of the historic district.
It is. So we met with the Historical Society and reviewed the plans, and we're good.
Good. Are there any federal monies available to maintain an historic building?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Just the taxpayers.
If you want to point me to the right, any direction, I'll be happy to go look.
We had some grants when we first did the work.
Yeah.
That's one of the 0 where they are.
One of the things and it might be a no, but one of the things I've asked the contractor to do is tell me what the cost would be if we were to put Marvin operable divided light windows in these openings in place of plastic in the windows that are here. It'd be an insulated glass unit. They would have the same divided light look. They would be functional. They would not have the plastic. So by the time you take these windows and do all the work that you're responsible to perform with these, what's the cost of it? So they're working for that exercise, and I can come back to you and tell you if there's any value in doing that.
And it also lasts 3 or 4 times.
For sure, yeah. So I'll come back to you, and again, that would require the review, but they've used the products that we would use in Doylestown Borough and in Philadelphia. This is historical building, so we believe there's not be a problem. But we'll see. The one project I want to quick touch base on is the court repairs and coatings. At North, we have a small basketball court we kind of restored years ago. It was grown over, and we restored the basketball courts, and they play street hockey there. And that's one of the projects where we're going to mill and overlay the surface and put a new surface down. The contractor performing the work has a product, Sport-based company. They have a product that is this is actually a sample, right? Yeah, it actually goes over, there's a perimeter band that locks it in place. It goes over top of the system that's there. So they make sure the system, the surface is level and clean. They put the system down, it's striped, it's painted.
It looks odd, that's why I wanted to see it.
It's just, you might want to see it. It has a 15-year warranty. The life cycle of it is 25 to 30 years. If you want to move it, they can actually take the perimeter off and move it.
Thank you.
It's a good product. We did talk to Penn State campus at Brandon, they use it and they love it. They're putting one at their main campus. It's used at many places, and Penn State campus, 6 Philadelphia Park locations, Blue Belt Country Club, public schools outside of the PA, and it's going to be in Tokyo, 3x3 basketball in the Olympics in a couple of years. So it's a good place to test the product because it's a small court. If you like it, it might be something we consider down the road. It is not inexpensive, but these guys are trying to get themselves some publicity on the product in a school in Pennsylvania. It's definitely a place worth trying the product. What they were willing to do for us is they own track repairs at South. They're doing those sites that are responsible for the whole project. Thank you. They will essentially, all of the crack repair they own at South, regardless of how much additional crack repair is required, they will do all of it at whatever cost it is for them to do. And in trade, we're going to use this product at all. So there's really no major cost impact to us to try it. There's some samples. This is Glen Mills, PA. This is an apartment complex. These are some courts that Blue Belt Country Club.
Those are real pictures?
Yeah, these are real pictures. That's the actual
It's
product.
like rendering.
It does that, exactly. You go to Bristol, those.
So they put the base color down, and the lines are almost like an interior tin. They come out and they mask and stripe everything.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, this is a sample of some of the paint that they use. This is in Brooklyn, New York. It's a little track and a little soccer field that they built inside a park. It can be used on tennis courts as well, but they said if you're going to consider this product on a tennis court, you need to get folks that play tennis to actually go to a court and try it because it's very fast. It's not as the game speeds up, and if we consider that, we would have. But if I
Wow.
now it's 6 flushes.
No, but I used to play at sometimes we used to play on almost polished concrete, like on the Catskills. It is so fast.
So Clemson has some.
Allow for black.
Not allowed, I said allowed.
I'm sorry.
We were to,
Yeah, it's not, I mean,
For
I don't think it's an issue, but we would have to do some research to make sure. The reason I say is we're going to do some work at South this year. We said we're not going to build an overlay because we want to see soils conditions and what happens. So if we decide down the road in a year or two, if we find out the soils conditions are actually okay, and by doing the crack repairs we're doing, it's going to be okay. When we come back, we can take an alternate, put this down instead of building an overlay. But first, we have to have the athletic directors and the tennis coach go to a court, try it, make sure it's PIAA approved and all those things.
This is you.
But it would work in the basketball courts in South. There's some other opportunities, even playgrounds down the road. It's a really good product. This is it's hard to see, unfortunately. The real picture is great. This is a park for a school in New York City. This paving is in really poor condition. And this is the product down at the same location. Really cool stuff.
I gotta believe the soccer fields are fast.
I know Sue Elliott played field hockey. She said it's very fast. It was fun.
I was at the fall, so.
It's actually safer to fall on than asphalt. Asphalt, the concussion is less than an inch. This is less than, it's 2 feet. So if you're already low to the ground and fall, your odds of getting hurt are less on this. Now you might straight.
That's what I was thinking.
Cuts is another.
Make sure I grade it, that's, looks like a cheese grater.
Wow. That's kind of like a loud, greater and greater. So these are the courts that we're talking about in North. And this is their product superimposed for.
That's really good.
And that is the rendering for our, what they would also do, we have basketball in the short direction. We have creases because they're street hockey on these. They used to play on the tennis courts and kill us. So we keep them off the tennis courts. They play street hockey here. And the soccer nets on either end with the lines so that they can play short soccer. The grass isn't good and the soccer team wants a place to have a little kind of practice to get facility.
I imagine skateboards are no issue with this thing.
I talked to them about damage and things, and again, it's warranted 15 years. If somebody breaks that, they'll come out and replace the product. So it doesn't replace many, and they're in public parks in the city, they're in New York City. I'm sure they're used. many places, so. So that was it. The summer projects are on task. We're going to start really the 25th of June with a lot of these because of the snow, and kind of pushed our start dates from the 18th to the 25th.
All I want to know is you get them done.
Yes, sir.
Has he ever not?
No, he never has, but I could believe.
I will be sure that they're done. I will sleep in
Before they-
September.
before
Like I
they-
said, looking towards September.
All right.
All of the things considered with the projects we added at Richborough recently, the site work that we're doing there, the playground prep and the data wiring, we are still have a contingency of 342,000, allowances totaling 234. So we're looking at about $577,000 contingencies with everything we've done, including the additional projects. So I feel very good with where we are. Miscellaneous items. I'll be coming to you and Jerry, you're going to want some help at the June meeting with signatures.
I'm not coming to that Jim meeting.
Well, you're going to need a couple people to sign. So I'm bringing service contracts. Unfortunately, I have about, starts at 1832 and runs to 1857. There's about 25 service contracts. They're every 3 years. These are up this year. I need to get those executed by the end of June for implementation July 1st. So they're actually out right now.
Sign all the time, can they not? They
Some
don't have
over
to
the
sign.
length of that meeting, yes.
What's that?
Yes, over the length of that
They
meeting.
could be signed with.
You're not worried, I'm kidding, I'll be at the meeting. You won't have to worry about it.
I'm saying you don't need to sit there, nobody needs to sit there that.
Well, I need to get POs done in the business hours, I will sign readings, yes.
Okay, this is really inside baseball.
For consent agenda items, so the service contracts I just mentioned, the bids for
You got an estimate of all of one of the bids ballpark?
they're all different. And I mean, they're all in, for the first year, they're 3 years, so
It's all, okay, it's all rotating, it's all stuff.
it's unit pricing, some of it's based on you, so they all vary. There were 3 that I don't know if I brought up, because I wanted to, okay, involved.
Okay.
I just want to quickly ask, there are 3 of these service contracts that I want to work directly with the people that are already here with the district. One is e-waste, who's been a partner with us since we've implemented green recycling. They again are working at $0. They're not looking for any more.
3%.
3% on 0%. So,
That's $0, that's not zero increase, that's zero. do
they
it.
charge enough, I mean, they run those events, they do what they do, the only thing they charge for are 2 TVs.
Yeah, that's all.
And our price for 2 TVs is different, community brings in 2 TVs. But they've been a great partner and they're,
Carl's a nice guy. You guys-
Very nice.
private utility enterprises has been the operator for the Wrightstown Elementary School wastewater plant, since 2011 when I came and learned we needed one. So we have a licensed operator there legally since 2011, and we want to keep them. They just know that they know the building, they know the systems. I'll talk to them about their fees and negotiate with them.
Were they the lowest bidder?
In 11 they were. They've been here.
Oh, so you'd like them to stay, but if they don't bid low. but-
Well, I'd like to just work. I would like what I'm saying is I'd like to work with them. It's a professional service. It's not a.
Yeah, if you can tell us, if you can confirm that, he's pretty great, that'd be great.
I can do that. It was a professional service at first.
Was it?
And the other is Element Environmental, who has been doing our asbestos, radon, lead testing, all of those things throughout the district, and especially with the, they're involved in the middle school project, they're involved in the Wrightstown project, kind of as a separate, but I'd like to keep the people that have done the research for these things here, especially through just liabilities.
You have some very well from this.
And that is Security, who's been our service, professional service operator. These guys have said they'll go another 3 years with 0%, $0 increase. They're not going to charge, they're increasing their costs for other districts, but they said they'll work with us for 3 more years. And no. So moving ahead then, the Wrightstown project and the testing that we talked about earlier, the 60,000, 28, 24, they're all in the Wrightstown budget already. And Next meeting, we'll talk about updates on the middle schools, we'll talk about Wrightstown, and Rolling Hills, planning on Part A and B for Rolling Hills, and start doing that process, and the results of the bids for the service.
Board, any more comments for Doug? Doug's been talking a long time. No? I'll anxiously await air conditioning. Public comment. Second round of public comment, please keep it to about 3 minutes. Anybody?
I'll just throw my support in, because like I said, most of Wrightstown couldn't come tonight to voice our support of having a gym, so I'm kind of here just on behalf of everybody that's at spring concert and say, we'd like the gym, we'd like to see the parity among all the elementary schools. And Doug and everybody that was here, again, thanks for all the work. I know all these projects are pretty substantial, and the logistics are probably a complete nightmare.
Ms. Carroll?
Even though I don't agree with a lot of what you're doing, I do agree that you are balancing and juggling a lot of balls and doing it well. So my disagreement is not on a personal matter, and I wish you would all take that. I don't believe that the rest of the district should pay to have a K-6 for 240 elementary students at Wrightstown, and especially before we get to demographic surveying. And I think that's a really big mistake, because you're setting a precedent that we no longer have community schools, because the only way you're going to fill that school to its 90% capacity is to bring people from Northampton, which they don't want to do. They bought their house in Northampton, and they want to go to school. Then I wanted to let this superintendent know that we have a long-standing tradition that when there's no air conditioning at the school, superintendent brings around water ice. Am I right? Am I right?
It happens right
For all the students. It shows up with water ice. So I'm sure nobody told you in the interview, but Mary can verify, everybody can verify. I think Holland should be getting water ice or air conditioning. I was at the Newtown Middle Hamilton lecture. It was very good, and it reminded me again on my way out. It was this beautiful, like, ceramic thing. Are we taking some things from the old Newtown Mill and putting them in the new Newtown Mill, which is something I've talked about.
There's a list. I don't have the list with me, but I know obviously all the plaques that are in the building at the original construction come over. There are tile mosaics that are in the building that are being moved over for sure. I have a thought of some piece of construction I'd like to try to capture, and maybe, and these folks don't know it yet, but I'd like to try to work with maybe one of the high school shop folks and try to get some sort of stand aid for a piece of something within the building, and display it in the new building as a piece of the old building that people can touch and see. We're definitely doing so. Tim Long has been working on identifying other pieces that we want to move over.
And someone talked about where we have parity. We don't have parity when taxpayers from other parts of the district have to supplant the money that we need to make a K-6 in a municipality that no longer has enough students. I live here in the borough. When we no longer had enough students, we went over to the township.
I just want to clarify one thing. When I was referring to parity, I was talking about both rolling the construction process and the experience of both Wrightstown and Rolling Hills. We've committed to doing this work. Now I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing by both of these communities. That was what I was referring to. I understand we disagree on this issue, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. I simply don't want my comments to be out there that I'm talking about just parity for Wrightstown. I'm talking about we've committed, now let's do the right thing based on these commitments for both of these. That's all I was saying.
I believe we should be saving money by not doing that. You never told us what this is.
That's the sport court, so that's the.
What is it called?
Sports court. It's sport court.
Sports court?
It's a hard play surface that, goes over the asphalt
Okay.
surface.
Would this facilitate a cheaper, tracks at the middle school?
No, because you still have to build the actual base track to put that on top. It'd actually be more expensive to put that into the track.
Any other public comment? Yes, ma'am.
I also wanted to thank everyone.
Please state your name.
Julie Schilling, I live in Wrightstown Township. I also wanted to thank you for your work and for, at this point, the administration recommending the gym be added to the Wrightstown construction. You know, it'd be wonderful to have parity with all the other schools. Once we have K through 6, all of our children won't be able to fit into the upper system together, which would really be a shame that they can't do assemblies or talent show or spring assembly with the entire school body there all at once. Also, you know, like we were there for the talent show, our child was performing, it was a packed room with K through 4. So if we add 2 more grades, that many more students who want to perform, that many more families want to come support the kids. You know, we need a larger room to support that. So I really appreciate your consideration of the review.
With that, any more? Meeting adjourned.